All right, guys, welcome to the Five Reasons Gambling Show. Joined today by my trusty co-host in many different platforms, my guy, Tony Schwartz.
What's going on, man? It's been a while.
It has been a while. Look, what we're going to talk about, we're together for Setting the Edge. We're not with Andy today, but we'll get Andy on a show soon. We're talking Bettor Edge. We're talking picks for Monday night. Before we do anything, though, we definitely got to shout out Bettor Edge. Bettor Edge is my favorite gambling platform. It's peer-to-peer betting. It's different than your normal sports book. You're connecting people on both sides of the bet, so there's no fees, no vig. The house isn't raking in any money like you see on those other sports books. You're literally going to exchange money depending on what happens in the game. There are player props. There are futures. Basically, anything you can find in a normal sports book, you can find it on Bettor Edge. You can get the app. You can do it on your desktop. It definitely works better on your phone, but either way you want to do it, Bettor Edge is where you can get the best lines. Use the code 5REASON. Go to bettoredge.com/5reasons for a $20 bonus for 5 Reason Sports. I always say it. Anytime you can take $20 out of Ethan Skolnick's pocket, it is time to take advantage of it. So, coming in today, talking with Tony, I asked him to come on and talk best bets for Monday night. It was a great weekend for South Florida sports. Tonight, we've got 2 NBA games. We've got some MLB. We got some hockey. Lots of stuff going on Bettor Edge. Lots of different things for you to bet. And I would be a terrible host if I did not let my guests go first. So, Tony, we're not really ranking these by any means, but what is one of your best bets of the night?
Yeah, so I really was playing around with it, trying to figure out, like, what would give me the best advantage, right? What plays are out there that are looking really nice. Rangers, Devils over 5.5. Those games have been going over pretty historically during this series. You take a look at it's basically a pick 'em. So now I'm kind of checking the odds. I'm checking the lines. I didn't love anything, and I'm thinking, damn, you know what? Let me go look at some player props. And then I see that you made every single player prop on the board today for the NBA. There's not a single player prop that wasn't a Sean Rochester NBA one. So I'm going to stick with the plus 107 for the Rangers. I think they have momentum coming out of game 6. They are hammering these overs. If you wanted to take the over, I like it, but the line right now isn't good enough for me to put juice on. So it's a straight up pick 'em. I got minus 105 on New York, and I just like them in the momentum tonight. So I kind of put some aggressive money on an even line.
All right, I'm looking elsewhere. Consensus that I'm seeing elsewhere is minus 110. And again, this is why we want to come to Bettor Edge. If you're going on the Rangers like Tony, you can get minus 105. Bettor Edge, it's giving you an advantage right now. There's money out there to be made. You're saving 5 cents. We talked about closing line value in the last episode of this. So that Rangers pick, there's money out there if you want to jump in there with Tony to jump in on that minus 105 or minus 110 is the consensus.
It's a pick 'em either way. Either way. I think you're doing good if you take the Devils too. It's just if it was 5 points, I would smash that over, but that 5.5 pushes it to just taking money line for me.
Yeah, it's different. I'm not an expert in hockey by any means, but both sides consensus are minus 110. You can see minus 107 here on Bettor Edge, minus 105 on the Rangers. So very interesting there. And this is a game 7. Game 6 was in New York the night before the Heat game. I was walking past MSG, dodging rats, dodging all the stuff out there, but Game 7 in this series. All right, so that was Tony's first one. As he said, I have 3 player props that are going to be my picks today, but I'll start off with the first one. I'm going to go Jokic over 13.5 rebounds. So when we talk about player props, they're kind of hidden on Bettor Edge sometimes, but if you go in here and you can slide out, not the chat, get this thing to zoom out and get to the external markets. Hold on 1 second here. But I have over 13.5. I don't know why it's not popping up on my screen. We'll get it to pull up here in a second. Over 13.5 rebounds against the Suns, 15, 18, and 19. In games where he played over 38 minutes, he's averaging almost 15 rebounds a game. Here we go. So, and I obviously don't want to go to the Philly game. I want to go to the Denver game. And I just think that his impact on the board is going to be huge. The Suns are going to have to figure out a way. As Tony said, I already have one in here that I'm offering. But, 15, 18, and 19 on the glass against the Suns. I think Jokic is going to have to play big minutes. I think it's a game where the Suns are really going to have to compete. You're really only looking at, I think, him going under that if the game gets out of hand one way or another on either side and he plays less than 38 minutes. So Jokic over 13.5 rebounds is my first best bet. Tony, you got anything in the NBA?
Yeah, I'm going to try and be super smart. There's some general news around the NBA that's a little pessimistic on whether Joel Embiid is going to play tonight or not. I feel like the best advantage that the Sixers have was Tyrese Maxey coming into this matchup anyway. But without him, without Joel, the ball's going to be in Tyrese's hands a lot. That 24.5 player prop is looking pretty spicy. I don't see anybody else in that team that's really going to be able to score at will against that Celtics defensive front. There's this world where you can get Tobias Harris looking like a rim attacker again, but Tyrese with the ball in his hands is the only player that has speed in that backcourt. So it's 24.5. It's a pretty sharp line, but I think they're still kind of making it, assuming that Joel Embiid might be there. If he wasn't there, I feel like that number's 26, 28. He would have superstar numbers. So I'm hitting the over on that. I really love that one. I also kind of toyed around with fading James Harden's points as well, under 22.5. It's not enough volume for me to take it. But, yeah, Tyrese, somebody's got to score points on that team. It's probably going to be him.
Yeah, I agree with that. One of my props is actually based on the fact that I don't think Joel Embiid is going to be playing. This is a good example, too, on Bettor Edge here. You have two different people that are putting out lines of 32.5 and 34.5, which is obviously a higher line. So you're going to get, some money here, plus 210 or plus 300.
Plus 210,
if you think Maxey is really going to blow up tonight, you're looking at 8 to 10 points more than the kind of consensus line, but you're getting 2-to-1 to 3-to-1 value. So that's something to consider. It's something that I do sometimes if I feel really good about a player is kind of ladder it, add up points, and make the numbers to my advantage and see if somebody else wants the other side of it. Where are we at here? All right, my second one is P.J. Tucker, our good old friend in Miami. And I don't think P.J. Tucker is going to make a three tonight. And I think his impact in the game overall is going to be limited without Joel Embiid. It could change, obviously, if Joel Embiid plays. But I'm going to get out in front of it. I'm going to say P.J. Tucker under a half of a made three. So basically, he's not going to make a three. I have it at plus 155 is my side of it. In the games without Joel Embiid this year, he had 8 out of 10 without a three-point made. And we know from him being in Miami as Miami fans that he's a complimentary player. He's going to work in the corners. I don't think his impact is going to be on the offensive end. I think he's going to be really extending himself defensively. So I'm going to bet and gamble that PJ does not make a three tonight. You have anything else in this game, or you want to go to a different direction?
Yeah, we can go to Nuggets Suns, and I feel like we're going to start in the same place. So you can't give me a number for Nikola Jokic. You can't. Fine, give me 15 rebounds. I'm still taking it. Give me 15.5. I'm still taking it. I think the number's sitting firmly around 13, 14, depending on what it's going to be at tip-off. I'm taking the over. There's nothing DeAndre Ayton can do to move that man off the block. He's so big that if they put two to a body, he can just go over the top of people. He's working the offensive glass as well as the defensive glass. If fantasy score was a thing on this app, I'd be smacking that. But that rebound total, you can make that thing even higher if you wanted to. And I might throw something out there today on Bettor Edge, just a line, see if anybody wants to call my bluff here. 13.5, smashing the over.
I like it. I have one also in this game with Kevin Durant, and obviously it wasn't a great game. They shot the ball well. They just didn't shoot the three well, and kind of stylistically, that's how the Suns play. But I'm going KD, and I'm going over 2.5 3-points made. And this is, I also put a ladder here, so I have over 1.5 and over 2.5 if you want to go in there and get the other side of it. But KD over 2.5 3-point made. I have it at plus 170. Against the Clippers, over that number in 3 out of 5 games. Against the Nuggets this season, while he's been with the Suns, limited sample size, obviously, but he went over that 2 out of 3 times. He's went over 2.5 in 6 out of 14 games with the Suns, which is not obviously the number you want to see. But I think you zoom into this matchup, I think that he's going to really have to attack and get the ball up. He's going to have to score the ball to keep up with them, and I think they're going to have to lean into threes a little bit more if they're going to keep up with this Nuggets offense.
I agree. I'll tell you what, Kevin was sounded pretty pissed. I thought he had a good performance too in that game. It just wasn't his best, right? Kevin didn't assert himself, take the ball out of Devin's hands too much. He's still playing second fiddle in that offense, but he sounded pretty pissed coming out of that matchup. He sounds like he's ready to take some shots, man. I think this is a great bet for you.
Appreciate that. Do you have anything else on tonight?
The lines are too sharp. Everything's a little too sharp here. I don't trust Phoenix to cover 4. I think that they could get slammed, but I don't want to bank out on Kevin Durant. And then this Philly Celtics line, it feels right, honestly. -9 feels right to me, but I don't ever want to trust a Boston team to do what they should do. So I'm staying away from pretty much everything else.
Yeah, I haven't played anything on the sides or totals of those games. I'm looking at tomorrow, trying to invest in the Lakers. They don't have the games up for tomorrow yet, but if I can get Lakers +4, +5, that's what I'm looking to do tomorrow. They beat the Warriors 3 out of 4 this season, and they're playing pretty good basketball. Warriors coming out of a long series, so I think maybe it's a good opportunity for the Lakers to get game 1.
14.5 is odds in my favor, you would say, right?
Yeah.
Trying to set the line here to get somebody else to take the other side.
Well, looking for that. Go to the external markets, jump on Tony's play if you want to get the other side of that. So we have a couple of player props for you guys to take on. You can go into the Bettor Edge portal, maybe go to the hockey game that Tony talked about. There's NBA, there's MLB. I've already lost one MLB game today, so the Mets are they're still fighting.
They're fighting. You could take the Yanks over if you want, the Yanks and the Guardians.
Yeah, I think I had that one locked in already, actually. But yeah, it's it's a great platform. Make sure you check it out. Like again, use bettoredge.com/5 reasons for a $20 bonus from 5 Reasons Sports. Myself, Tony, lots of us on 5 Reasons, lots of people all over the country are using this. It's legal in I think 48 out of the 50 states. In most places, this is going to be legal for you. It's not offshore or any of that craziness. So make sure you check it out, Tony. I appreciate you coming on, and we'll have you back here soon to talk more betting on Bettor Edge.
Always appreciate it, man.